I can't be bought by anybody. This mob won't last 3 years.
Are you going to live in number 10?
Shouldn't think so. Well, we're on the cusp of power.
Are you ready for it?
It's slightly daunting.
Nigel Farage, you're so close to power you can smell it, can't you?
Well, you know what? In racing terms, for us last Thursday was Beecher's Brook, the big fence at the Grand National, and that's the one you've got to clear, but there are more fences to jump. So we're not there yet, but another massive step forward, and I'm not sure the significance of what we've achieved in the Midlands and the north of England has yet sunk in. But we've crushed Labour. I want to say, literally crushed the Labour Party in parts of the country where they've been dominant for over 100 years. So yeah, big step.
You say that you've overcome a big hurdle, lots more hurdles to come. What's standing between you and that black door of number 10?
We have got to get better at what we do. We've got to find the right people to stand for us at a general election, and that's becoming harder and harder. Getting good people with big backgrounds, whether it's in business or sport or whatever it is, to enter public life is getting harder and harder. The levels of intrusion are becoming really horrid. I mean, absolutely horrid for everybody. You know, every mobile phone's now a camera. There's literally no privacy for anybody. Anyone that's been successful in life would have had the odd skirmish along the way, because that's life.
One way of putting it.
Well, no, but that's life.
Yeah.
And so we've kind of finished up with a parliament now full of people who have been in the public sector, not had any profile. And of course, you know, society needs all these people. But the massive overrepresentation in parliament of that particular type of individual is because, to a large degree, many who've got backgrounds are scared to put their heads over the parapet, scared of what becoming a politically exposed person means. But that means you get your bank accounts closed, your family get attacked. Social media is vile these days. So one of the big steps for me, I've got to persuade people, a mixture of people from across different backgrounds, to stand up in public and say, you know what, we're going to do this. So getting the right people, getting the right structures here in our office, the right campaigns, and you know what, the other factor, a little bit of luck.
Always a bit of luck, but you know, you can make your own luck as well. You can almost make a rod. You can sometimes make a rod for your own back. You just made a big sort of song and dance, you know, earlier in the year, late last year, about, you know, improving your vetting of candidates. And yet again, you know, you would know more than me. You know, you've seen people pop up who've said some pretty stupid and pretty horrible things.
Do you know what?
Slip through the net.
Do you know what? Yeah, well, we put up 4,850 candidates last Thursday. And have we had problems with a few? Yes. The Tories had even more problems than we had. The Greens had, everybody had problems. You can't have that number of people going forward without some slipping through the net. But you know what? In most cases, the reason we've had trouble is people either lied to us or had social media handles not declared to us or things like that. So you're always going to get a bit of this. I would say we've got through this election pretty unscathed on bad candidates because the other parties have all had the same problem.
So the other thing that people have been a bit miffed about, and you know, there has been a bit of a slump in the polls this year. You're back to 30.
Oh,
I have to admit, you're back to 30.
This is the narrative, isn't it?
It's
Reformers peaked. It's all over. You're all. It's cobblers. We are. First point to make is we are in multi-party politics, right? We're in multi-party politics. If you look at where we are in the polls right now, we're pretty much exactly where we were this time last year.
About 28, 29,
30%, whatever it is. 30 is the latest one.
And you think that's enough? Do you think that's enough to have a mandate to govern? Look at the problem Keir Starmer.
What is going to happen, or what I'm going to try and make happen, is for people who aren't particularly political, because they're busy, they've got a job and a mortgage and 2.3 kids, and they're getting on with their lives. As the next election comes, if we are clearly the choice to beat the increasing leftward drift on the other side of politics, you'll see a lot more people who currently think Conservatives are their brand come across to us. And you've seen that already in Wales, you've seen it in Scotland, you've seen it in the north of England. So look, I think we've got further to go. We need to go further. Could we win a majority on 30%? Yes, but we need to be stronger.
Yeah, because the problem Starmer got in is it's a broad and deep majority, but it's a loveless one, and he got in with what, 33%. It doesn't exactly.
But they were
well.
Hang on.
Three quarters of the country.
They were legacy parties. I vote Labour because Grandad did.
Do you think that was still the case in 24?
Yes, of course. Of
People
course.
had already voted for, vast lots of them had already voted for Boris and had already voted for Brexit. They'd left the Labour Party a long time ago. They went back to the Labour
About
Party.
4 million did. About 4 million did. There was still a solid 8 million who'd been Labour all their lives, who hadn't shifted, and we're a new party. So the level of enthusiasm of our supporters is much higher than the level of enthusiasm that Starmer had in 24.
I mean, enthusiasm, I think, would be pushing it. Where your polls did start to dip, and they did dip at the beginning of this year, was when you threw open the doors and let in your Robert Jenricks, your Nadeem Zahawis, your Nadine Dorries, all these Tories, all these people you say crashed the economy, opened up our borders, drove the country off a cliff, and now they're your besties.
And what,
Do you not think that's been that backfired?
So what happened to Jenrick? He resigned.
Well, he kept me fired in first. But
No. Let's go back.
Oh, I see.
He resigned as immigration minister.
Yeah.
What happened to Suella as Home Secretary? She basically kicked out for saying we're not being tough enough. So I've got no problem in people coming across who either resigned, were kicked out, or admitted the extent to which they got it wrong.
You make them take the knee and sort of flagellate themselves and say
it's not quite as humiliating as that, but close. No. Also, here's the point. Did I take a handful of high-profile people who'd been in government? Yes.
And now no more.
Why did I do that? Because the one question I couldn't answer from you or anybody else was, well, it's all well and good, Nigel, but none of you have ever been there. None of you have the experience of understanding number 10 or how relations with the civil service work. We didn't have the experience, and I brought people in to give us experience. Did everybody love it as a decision? No. Was it
any more on the cuff, or that's done now?
To quote the Stranglers song, no more Tories anymore.
So
they've had their chance.
Trevor Kavanagh, your friend and mine, calls it muscle memory, and you needed some, government muscle memory. Are you now confident you're ready for government? What are the first 100 days of the Farage premiership look like?
When I was asked before Christmas, how ready were we? I said we're halfway there. Which many comment, oh my goodness me, he admits that...
Living on a prayer.
No. We've been a work in progress. We've come an astonishing way in 1 year and 10 months. An astonishing way in that shorter period of time. I'd say we're now 2/3 ready. There's still further to go, but we're 2/3 ready.
And is it still a one-man band?
Oh, this really hacks me off. I mean...
Oh, come on. No one wants this to happen, but if you went under a bus tomorrow, reform's over.
I don't believe that to be true.
You don't?
No, I don't.
Who steps up?
No. You know what? Well, who steps up for the Labour Party now? Who's the next Prime Minister going to be? You can't answer that, can you? Well, there you are. This one-man band thing. I've appointed, in the last 4 months, I've appointed a leader in Scotland, I've appointed a leader in Wales, I've appointed 4 major shadow cabinet positions, I've appointed a head of policy for the party, a head of preparing for government for the party. I keep appointing people, and they keep going on media all the time, they keep appearing in public all the time. And I'm still told it's a one-man band.
But you know as well as I do that the path to Nigel Farage on the cusp of number 10 is littered with the people that have crossed you publicly, privately.
You all come out with this utter bilge.
Bilge.
Utter bilge.
Well,
most people in this building we're sitting in now, right? My inner team, and you know them all, have been with me for over a decade. There are people in this building who have been with me for over 25 years. I maintain long-term work relationships with most people that ever cross my path. Even all my staff who worked for me in the 90s, 30 years ago in the city, are all still personal friends. I don't fall out with people, but what happens in politics is you get people who think they're much cleverer than you, and that they got elected to the European Parliament because of who they were. And they all get a bit too big for their boots. They decide to take me on, and then...
So we're talking Rupert Lowe.
Maybe I'm not quite as friendly then.
Rupert Lowe, Ben Habib.
Well, I mean...
Douglas Carswell's come back to the fold, I think.
I mean, some of these people go mad.
What is it about you that sends them around the bend then? Working with you seems to send people around the bend.
Jealousy.
Jealousy?
Yeah,
It's just jealousy.
Yeah, they
it's
want
not
to be...
that you don't brook dissent, you don't...
I'm perfectly relaxed about people disagreeing with me.
Just don't do it in public.
Just don't do it in public.
That's the rule, is it?
Simple as.
So
Always has been. You can come into my office, you can call me any words you like. And honestly...
I don't believe that.
Harry, I don't mind one little bit. You can scream and shout at me, I don't mind one little bit.
So you're going to be the classic Prime Minister, first amongst equals, primus inter pares. Robert Jenrick has free rein to do whatever he wants on the economy, or...
As long as he tells me first.
But you're not a... You've been the agenda setter for all these years on net zero, on immigration, on Brexit. You know, I don't think even your toughest critics would suggest otherwise. You like setting the direction of travel.
And these guys know the direction of travel, the Jenricks, etc.
And they're now free to
and now boys, off you go, boys and girls, off you go and do it. Absolutely.
Do you worry that the scale of the problem? So we're talking about you've got this shadow cabinet in place. You're building a policy team. Mm-hmm. You're going to have the manifesto that's going to be more watertight than the last one, which frankly was a bit of a piss take. I mean, the sums didn't add up. It was all over the shop.
Did I write it?
Well, you signed it. You stood on it.
I wasn't going to stand.
Well, we'll talk about that in a minute.
I wasn't going to stand.
Okay, but like this time it's serious, right? This time you are on the cusp of power.
Yeah. Well, we're on the cusp of power, but also the country faces the most serious problems it's faced in a multiple of areas. And there is so much to do that the biggest and hardest decision is to decide. It's back to your 100 days question 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. You can see why I'm neatly tying this up with a bow. But
It's all right, don't worry. I mean, I recognise it and I've referred back to it. The hardest thing is to work out what are the priorities. What are the things that are actually achievable in a relatively sensible time frame, and what are the things that will take longer?
So what's in the, let's call them the in-tray, the immediate in-tray, and then the bigger in-tray. Liz Truss obviously made the mistakes of trying to run before she could walk and doing everything immediately, saying we've only got 2 years, let's do it all now, and obviously we saw what happened there. That said, you're going to have to announce a lot of what you intend to do first in order to get it in your manifesto, in order to be able to get it through the Lords, in order to make it a manifesto commitment, and therefore stop the Lords blocking a lot of stuff that they're probably not going to want to do. Are you worried that the scale of things is going to scare the horses before the election? And actually, if you write down you're going to leave the ECHR, you're going to abolish the Human Rights Act, you're going to tear up the Equalities Act, you're going to, I can't remember what the OBR policy is, but all these things that you've said you're going to want to do. Are you worried that you're going to actually almost sort of scare people off before you actually get a chance to do it?
Voters or the establishment?
Both.
No, I think voters, I mean, the last poll I saw said that 74% of the population agree that Britain is broken. And if you accept something's broken, then you realise that only radical change, that's all you can do to change things. And all right, it's fine. I mean, Kemi says Britain's not broken. Great. Keir says Britain's not broken. Fine. I believe Britain is broken at every level. I think and I know most of the electorate out there say that. So is this a country ready for some radical change and, frankly, for some quite tough medicine in some areas?
Is it ready for tough medicine? Because there was polling out last week by Merlin Strategy and Charlesby that said, 62% of the country doesn't want to cut the benefits bill. They want to tax billionaires and businesses to keep sustaining the levels of public spending.
Politics isn't about followership, it's about leadership. It's about leadership. Do you know, most of the issues that I've championed over the years, right, and people call me a populist, I'm not. Absolutely not, in any way at all.
You?
I have probably.
Got some 1970s South America ring to that.
I have picked up and campaigned on issues that were minority issues. Minority issues because they weren't being debated. Minority issues because there was a wall of consensus in the opposite direction. And I've fought for those ideas, and many of them now have become mainstream ideas. So on this business of tax, right? You know, do you think people who earn millions of pounds a year should be taxed heavily? Everyone says yes. Until you say, well, hang on. If they all leave and your taxes go up,
a lot of them have already gone.
Which would you prefer?
30 more.
Yeah, but no one's making these arguments in public life. And it was the Conservatives, it was Osborne who began it, and then it was Jeremy Hunt as Chancellor, who killed off the non-doms. And so people just leave.
They're already gone.
And many have gone. Many have gone. But we're now at a different wave of this, where actually what we've got are 30-somethings, ambitious young people leaving the country in increasing numbers. We need successful people. We need our top taxpayers to stay in this country. 30% of all tax is paid by 1% of the population, and that figure. So no, I will make these arguments even if Merlin strategies say right at this moment in time 62% won't agree.
Well,
when people listen to arguments...
But the British public have always wanted, they've always wanted European style, public services, Scandinavian levels of taxation for everyone else except for them. It's a contradiction of the heart of British politics.
We can't afford it. So that argument's got to be made.
And you'll make it before the election?
Of course.
Or we were going to tell everyone what they want to hear first and then make the tough choice.
Since when did I ever do that? Since when did I ever do that?
Well, there's a little bit of something for everyone in your current offerings. You're about to about to start preaching tough love.
Been doing it for months. You haven't noticed.
I've been paying attention. Yes.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have.
No, you haven't.
You're keeping the triple lock. You had a big old fan.
1 in 6 on universal credit is a foreigner.
Yeah.
Can't go on.
Yeah.
Can't go on.
That is the one thing the British public do agree with you.
Can't go on. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, isn't that nice?
Take away benefits from...
Nice, isn't it? So maybe, listen to you, it's amazing. I'm on more than 2%, really, isn't it?
How are you, though? Are you ready for this? How are you up here are you going to live in number 10?
Shouldn't think so.
You wouldn't live in the building?
I don't know, God knows. That's way down the track.
Way
down the track.
A couple of years ago, you were fishing and you were ready for a nice cosy retirement.
I know.
You were taking it easy, and now you've got the prospect of the hardest job in the world at the toughest possible time.
I know.
Are you ready for it?
It's slightly daunting. I'd be a fool.
Keep you up at night.
I'd be a fool not to say that, but I still, in my own mind, it's perfectly fair for you to ask those questions, but I still, in my own mind, see it as being some way off.
I mean, 3 years of this.
This mob won't last 3 years.
You reckon?
No, I said in September 24 at our conference, after the first handful had been elected to the Commons, I said at that conference that I thought a 2027 election would come, and I based that on the economy. I based that on what Labour would do to business confidence, to private sector investment, to employment, and I think the bond markets already are giving us a message, and it's amazing, isn't it? I mean, Andy Burnham says, don't worry about the bond markets.
Bond markets will come.
It'll all be fine, Well, it won't be. It won't be. So no, I think there is a bad time coming economically for the UK, and it's not very far away. So I still think next year's the election.
So you think we could be sitting here in a year's time and you'd be in number 10?
Listen, I'm not going to think about that. What I've got to think about is this operation, Reform UK. I'm the CEO, right? I run this thing. Most of my life is not spent. Most of my life, outside of, the last 9 weeks I've been on the road. Most of my life is spent here. Most of my life is spent at the office. Most of my life is spent with heads of departments. Most of my life is spent thinking, how can we improve this? How can we change that? So my mind is on the organisation, the structure, the funding, all of those things, and I'm going to keep focused on that.
And that's the point of building this team, building this place. I remember coming to UKIP HQ for the better part of a decade and a half ago, and it was a bit of a circus, frankly.
It was great fun, but
This feels like more like a government, being in a government department.
I think there is a sense of, I would like to believe there's a sense of professionalism about what we do, about the work ethic of our staff, but still a great sense of fun.
Are you ready for what the blob the deep state, whatever you want to call it.
I know.
The Guardian,
I know.
the Financial Times,
I
the
know.
BBC, the charity sector, the National Trust, you name it, they're coming for you, right? Are you ready for that?
Do you know, in many ways, I've had years of it already.
You've given them a fair bit of ammunition, though, haven't you?
Oh, come on. I mean, you know, what do you think I am? I mean, you know, Harry.
But wait, you saw
they will, I mean, you know, they will always find something to attack me on.
Well, there's 5 million quid donation, right?
Well, shouldn't even be in the public domain. Shouldn't even be in the public domain. And that really, in a sense, is back to your question, you know, because things are, information is obtained that shouldn't even be public.
But, I mean,
it's a disgrace.
Public figures, the level of public life that you're in, this happens, right? You can say
I know.
I'm not condoning.
I know.
You know, if you've said it's obtained by nefarious means,
Yeah.
it's out there though.
Yeah.
Are you 100% confident that the Electoral Commission or the Standards Commissioner are going to clear?
Nothing to do with the Electoral Commission whatsoever.
The Standards Commission has opened an
Not
investigation.
of course he has. If you get a complaint, you have to. I had 5 of these when I was in Brussels. 5 fraud investigations into me when I was an MEP. I mean, you know, they came round on an annual basis. As far as this is concerned, I'm not the least bit concerned.
Do you not worry about what the pub punters think, though, in terms of this? It is unusual. Someone, you know, my mate lent me a tenner to get a couple of beers. You know, 5 million quid. It's a hell of a lot.
I know, and it's very unusual for someone to give up 27 years of their life to campaign for something. And this was given to me as on an unconditional basis, completely unconditional basis. But frankly, it was given as a reward for campaigning for Brexit for 27 years.
And it had no impact on your decision to come back into public life?
No.
But he who pays the piper picks the tune.
Hang on a second. I can't be bought by anybody.
Yeah? Look down that camera and say, I can't
be bought by anybody.
Anyone.
No, not anyone. Not even Elon Musk. You know,
What happened then? He tried to get you to, what, pledge a load of policies?
Well, he wanted to give us a load of money if I said certain things publicly, and I refused.
What did he want you to say?
Well, this and that. But I didn't do it. So I made an enemy of Elon Musk, but that shows you I'm my own man. I make my own mind up.
And you're 100% confident that the Standards Commission is going to clear you on this one?
Yeah. By the way, I have to come clean about my personal MP expenses. They're zero. Zero. I haven't claimed. No, I haven't claimed since I was elected a couple of years ago. I haven't claimed a penny of personal expenses.
Yeah, right? Made 2 million quid on the side there.
Well, but so what?
You don't think that's when you see everyone lather themselves up into getting annoyed about it, you just think, well, it didn't do Donald Trump any harm being loaded, right?
Do you know what people in Clacton say? Good luck to you, mate.
Yeah.
They
don't care.
No one cares. They care if you're a crook.
Yeah.
Which I'm not and never have been. But the fact that I made a few quid doing things, that doesn't worry people at all.
And you think it's just noise?
Yeah.
So how long these things take months and months?
Oh, they drag it on for years. I don't. Listen, I'm not in the least bit worried about it. I'm utterly confident. I've got good lawyers, good accountants. I've done nothing wrong anywhere at all. We're entirely confident.
Do you think what is called either the blob in the UK or the deep state in the US, you know, that sort of, you know what I'm talking about,
yeah,
are going to play fair with you?
Probably not.
I mean, that's the thing. You know, they tried to jail Donald Trump. They tried to, tried to render him unfit for office. You saw, you can disagree with Boris Johnson on many things, but it was a fairly unusual punishment they meted out to him. You know, are you ready to take on, dirty tricks?
I've got to be. Got no choice.
Are you worried that's going to be one of those big old fences that we talk about?
It's one of them.
But you still think you're going to win?
Yeah.
All right. So this time next year, we'll do this again in the Downing Street Rose Garden.
I don't know. I don't want to be something like that. But I don't know, Harry. But I just think, this political movement has caught the mood. It's crossed the British class system in a way that no party's ever done before. It's crossing geographies, unlike any other party at the moment. We're winning seats in the valleys of Wales to the northeast of Scotland. You know, we're literally across the whole country. We're competitive everywhere, apart from the odd inner London borough. And
bits of central Manchester. I mean, you look at that manufacturing Manchester. It looks like an eye now with a green dot in the middle and a turquoise around the outside.
Greater Manchester was one of our hugest victories last week. Incredible what we've done. So there might be little dots in the middle of some of these cities, but basically we're competitive pretty much everywhere across the United Kingdom. As I say, we've united classes in a way that politics just didn't used to do.
Why then are you? And then final question. We're going to take us back to the original one of that 30%. Is it going to go higher than that?
Tell me the last brand new party that hit 30%.
The SDP.
For a fortnight. For a fortnight.
You're not the SDP.
For a fortnight. You know, this is what we've done's remarkable. There's further to go, and we'll get there.
Nigel Farage, thank you very much.
Thank you.